maxillary artery is divided into first part or mandibular, second part or pterygoid, and third part or pterygopalatine. The first part or mandibular is divided into anterior tympanic artery, deep auricular artery, middle meningeal artery, superior tympanic artery, tetrosal branch, accessory meningeal artery, inferior alveolar artery. The second part of pterygoid is divided into muscles of mastication, deep temporal arteries, pterygoid branches, mesenteric artery, buccal artery. The third part, or pterygopalatine, is divided into posterior superior alveolar artery, infraorbital artery, anterior superior alveolar arteries, descending palatine artery, greater palatine artery, lesser palatine arteries, artery of the pterygoid canal, sphenopalatine artery, posterior septal branches, posterior lateral nasal branches, ascending pharyngeal artery. ICA, internal carotid artery, is divided into cervical part of internal carotid artery, petrous portion of the internal carotid artery, cavernous part of internal carotid artery, and ophthalmic artery, OA, and brain for cerebral circulation. Cervical part of internal carotid artery has carotid sinus. Petrous portion of the internal carotid artery has a Vidian artery, also known as artery of the pterygoid canal, and carotico-tympanic arteries. Cavernous part of internal carotid artery and ophthalmic artery, OA, have orbital group, ocular group, ciliary arteries, short posterior ciliary arteries, long posterior ciliary arteries, anterior ciliary arteries, sulcus anteriosus major, also known as major arterial circle of the iris, major sulcus arteriosus of iris, or sulcus arteriosus iridis major. Hypophysion, superior hypophyseal artery, inferior hypophyseal artery. Orbital group has anterior ethmoidal artery, posterior ethmoidal artery, lacrimal artery, lateral palpebral arteries, medial palpebral arteries, terminal supraorbital artery, supratracheal artery, dorsal nasal artery. Ocular group has a central retinal artery. Brain has a circulable willis, anterior cerebral artery, ACA, anterior communicating artery, recurrent artery of Hübner, also known as Hübner's artery, or distal medial striate artery, orbitofrontal artery, middle cerebral artery, MCA, anterolateral central arteries, also known as the lenticulostriate arteries, or anterolateral ganglionic branches, prefrontal artery, superior terminal branch, inferior terminal branch, anterior temporal branch, posterior communicating arteries, anterior choroidal artery. Subclavian arteries, SCA, is divided into vertebral artery, thyrocervical trunk, and costocervical trunk. Vertebral artery is divided into meningeal branches, spinal, posterior spinal artery, anterior spinal artery, basilar artery with pontine arteries, labyrinthine artery, cerebellar with anterior inferior cerebellar artery, AICA, superior cerebellar artery, SCA, posterior inferior cerebellar artery, PICA, cerebral with posterior cerebral artery, PCA. I am Alan Young. I'm an Asian American researcher, inventor, engineer, and entrepreneur. My life story is available in my autobiography. I pursue what I really want to do in my life, which is advancing AI, robotics, human longevity biotech, and nuclear fusion reactors powered outer space tech. I sell a number of products online for commissions for financially self-supporting my cause of advancing science, technology, and capitalism. I personally use all the products that I sell via affiliate marketing or online recommendation. All the products I sell online are listed at alanyoung.dev/product. I need to stay lean for top mental performance. Being fat slows me down. Being lean speeds me up. Visit alanyoung.dev/fat loss for the natural diet body fat loss product I use and recommend. I need to constantly program my mind for success. Visit alanyoung.dev/success for the Success Mind programming product I use and recommend. I need to handle my dating and lifestyle for success in my whole life, not just in business and career. Visit alanyoung.dev/dating for men's dating and lifestyle coaching product I use and recommend. I teach myself software development for developing and commercializing AI, robotics, biotech products. Visit alanyoung.dev/courses for my software development courses. I'm looking for accredited investors for funding my startup in AI, robotics, biotech, and nuclear fusion tech. If you'd like to invest in my startup, visit robocentric.com/investors.